Thank you for joining us.
Hello. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what the heck time is it?" and like ran downstairs. So,
Oh no, you're fine. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to come and hang out with us.
oh, I love doing any kind of lives and chatting books. So, yeah,
Yay!
of course. Thanks for asking.
Yes, we have devoured your series, so it was immediate that we had you on here.
I love it. That makes me so happy. That's honestly, I think, the best compliment an author can get when someone says they devoured your book. It's like the best feeling.
I'm so glad. Well, everybody funnels in. Would you mind introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about yourself?
Me? Sorry.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Yeah, sure. My name is Victoria Wilder, and I write and publish romantic suspense series named The Bourbon Boys. I have another small town series that I released before that, but I think most people are walking into meeting me through Bourbon and Lies, which is the first book in the Bourbon Boys series. Gosh, a little bit about me. I don't know. I mean, I have not been writing and publishing for all that long. I published my first book in 2021. That first book was Peaks of Color. I had to like actually look. I'm like, what was the name? And since then, just, keep moving forward, trying to write the next book a little bit better than the last. And I feel like I have been super lucky just in finding like a community of people that love romance as much as I do, because I don't just write it, I read it, consume it, enjoy it. So, yeah, I feel like still kind of like the new kid, very much just figuring out my way as I go, and hoping to find the readers that like the kind of stories that I write. So,
And what started your reading journey? Have you always had a passion for reading and writing?
surprisingly, no. I've always been like, give me the TV series, give me the movie. I thought I was going to get into television production when I was in school. And my mom and my sister were always like, the book was better. And I'm like, bullshit. And until I really like, I think one of like the most amazing things is finding genres that really speak to you and make you want to keep reading. Um, and for me, that was romance. And I didn't really start like voraciously reading until right around COVID time. I felt like I had watched everything there possibly was on Netflix and Prime, and I was bored. I had two kids that were small at home, and I was sort of in between what I was going to do next for work. I was like super burned out from corporate corporate world and public relations and marketing, which is what I was working in. And I had gotten a Kindle like years ago and never really put it to use, and found romance, and then just started to dabble in the Bookstagram community to try to find new books. And I mean, you're a romance reader too, so you know how it goes, right? Like you read one and it just speaks to you, and you just keep snowballing, go down the rabbit hole of what really speaks to me or what kind of mood I'm in. Like I'm such a moody reader. Um, and I think just the accessibility that like Kindle and Kindle Unlimited allowed me to have, just meant I never got bored, right? So if I didn't like something I was reading, I could stop reading it and find something new. And I think growing up, I think it was a lot of things for me. It was like, I was reading the things that like my friends said you should read, or stuff that was like on lists. And it was never like just read for just enjoyment. And so I feel like once I was like given myself permission to do that, it was sort of the beginning of it all. So yeah, I have not been reading a long time. I like genuinely get anxious about that, because I'm like, gosh, there's so many amazing books. Like I'll never be able to read all the things I want to read in my lifetime. right?
I'm always saying I'm gonna have to come back as a ghost to finish my TBR.
I mean, for sure. Like the perfect afterlife is just the world's largest romance library of all time. You know?
100%. And you combined romance and suspense. What made you gravitate to those types of genres?
Yeah, I mean, I really love trying to figure things out. I also really just like I love extremes. Like, I really love watching horror movies. I really love mysteries. I really like just trying to figure out the small pieces that you can put that stories can be put together with. And um, I liked the idea of doing romantic suspense. I had read some that just were like incredible. And I think contemporary romance, whether it's small town or mafia or billionaire, I love that you can really decide what kind of mood you're in and enjoy a love story all the way through. I really loved the romantic suspense genre because I felt like there's never an opportunity to get bored. And I felt like what was really nice about romantic suspense for me was that I had to always be on my toes. Like, what's going to like move the story forward outside of just the couple and their character arcs? Like, is there an external force? And that is the piece that challenges me. And I know I like that challenge. So, yeah, I don't know. I wish I had like some amazing epiphany, like, oh, this is the world I can write in. And truthfully, when I wrote Bourbon and Lies, I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to do it. Like, there are so many incredible romantic suspense authors, and I'm like, oh gosh, can I play in this pond? You know? Because it's just, you have to be like, they're smart and layered. And, if you really read some of like the like really incredible ones, there's just pieces that are planted as you move along in the story. And sometimes you see them and sometimes you don't. And I just really loved that. Um, but yeah, I wanted to challenge myself, and to me, going from just a contemporary small town romance to something like romantic suspense felt like the next challenge that I wanted. And I really enjoy it. And I think that's like the bigger one. I like genuinely enjoy writing these types of stories, because it allows me to dabble a little bit darker without leaning into being a dark romance, or I kind of like can straddle the lines a bit, of all of it, like a little bit of small town, a little bit of found family. And I think romantic suspense sort of allows an author to straddle a bunch of different lines. Um, so yeah, I like playing in this world right now very much.
I really enjoyed it because usually I have to be like, I'm very much a mood reader too. So usually I have to
Mhm.
be like in the mood for a Hallmarky, small town
Yeah.
kind of cozy romance. And we went into yours blind because we saw the cover and we're like, this looks fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best
So
way to go in, right? Because you just don't
yes,
know.
that's how I always go in. I judge a book by its cover, very cliche on that. If it has a good cover, I'm interested. So we all
Love it.
dove in and you captivated our interest right away with the storyline. And I was like, oh, okay, like we're gonna have some backstory here. And the depth in which you had your characters was so engaging because the whole time I'm like, okay, like I love them, but what's going on over here?
Yeah, yeah. I always feel like this about whether it's like television or books, like sometimes side characters and like those side subplots are just so much fun to try and follow too. And I find like personally, I need to like be engaged when I'm reading. Now, granted, I will read anything that has a romance, plot line for sure. But I really love the stories that have like multiple subplots happening at the same time. It definitely makes for chaotic writing, but I think it makes for a really great read too. So I love that. I love that you felt that when you were reading.
Yeah, we were so entrapped with your book because it was so engaging, but then you're also like wanting to know about this romance and you're like, okay, like the angst is getting me going
Yeah.
here. But then you're falling in love with the side characters as well, so we're just like overall having a great time. And I love how you wrote this book because it flowed so well. So I wanted to know how is your writing process? How do you connect so many of those lines and make it flow so well? Grizz,
Um,
yes, Grizz.
Grizz. So I am a very chaotic writer. Just in that I want so badly to have a process that feels like really good and centered and cohesive as I'm writing, but that is just not how it's been working. And I'm really trying to just accept and lean into the fact that, okay, so this is my process. Um, I am a chronological writer. I need to write from beginning to end. Now that means I absolutely go back and make adjustments. But I do a very loose outline. A lot of times I'll know, maybe I'll know what the twist that I want to incorporate is, or at least I think I want this twist to happen. How I'm going to get there, I have no idea, but we'll put it out there because then maybe I'll start writing and get myself to that point. Um, I think a lot of my writing sort of anxiety is just getting that first draft down on the page, because my first draft is never my final draft. My first draft, I feel like, is always just my beginning. And it's still a lot, right? It's still a lot to put down that many words and get a story moving. But I actually do a lot of developmental editing. I have an incredible editor. I have an incredible PA that operates as a sort of like a beta reader, dev editor. And then I have a nice group of beta readers that, give me like the most invaluable feedback. And like through those processes, it's a pretty grueling editing schedule, but it gets there. And I think for me, it's just become the way that I do things. Like I feel like I'm always doing this now. I'm going into a new book and starting to think about, okay, what is my real outline going to look like? I know how I want the story to progress in that. I want to know the beats, right? Like I want to make sure that the story's flowing properly, that there's always like something making you turn the page. And that's always a big thing with my beta readers. Is there any point where you're feeling bored? And if I can erase that at any point, then to me, that's that's incredibly important. But yeah, I mean, as chaotic as this answer was, that is my writing process.
No, that makes sense to me. I'm just always so curious because when you have so many subplots, because you had our suspense story and her background, but then you had the romance story, and then you're also leaving us some breadcrumbs for the next books, and you're
Mhm.
making us fall in love with the side characters at the same time. So I'm always like, how do you keep track of all of this in your brain, especially when you're going on to like the other books of the series? And you
Yeah.
gotta, you know, have the other characters show up and pick up and have interactions. So I'm just like, your brain's fascinating when it comes to
Yeah,
that.
my brain definitely has a capacity. Like my husband knows like, okay, she's editing for the next like 2 months. Like let's be limited on when we're talking about plans, right? No, but I mean there is truth in that. But really like I have a great team that helps me keep track of my side character names, how old they are, what they look like, like what do they own inside my small town. So that definitely helps. And like I said, there's a lot of eyes on my book before it ever hits even my ARC readers. And that's just, for tons of reasons, right? Like making sure there's no plot holes and like the grammar looks amazing. And that's mostly my editor and editorial team. But the pieces of like, oh well, this character does not have a sister, but now they're sisters. Like, how did that happen? I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right. So yeah, sometimes things fall through, and that's like up to my team to help figure that out. But then you guys know this, like sometimes stuff falls through the cracks, and you hope for the best that people don't like really hate you for it. But most of the time it's like small things, like I I spelled something wrong or used the wrong word, and never like a huge plotting issue.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much research went into the whole brewing process for bourbon?
I did as much as I humanly could. I went to, so I'm from the Northeast. I'm from Connecticut. I am not from bourbon country. I'm not from Kentucky. I went to Kentucky. So I knew I wanted to do a series of brothers. I knew I wanted them to run a bourbon distillery. And I knew that in order to do that, if I was going to talk the talk, I needed to know what I was talking about. Right? Because bourbon, in my opinion, has the same subculture as romance, right? Like you have communities of people that don't just do it for a living, but they love it and breathe it. And the worst thing in the world is to talk about something and not knowing enough that you can talk about it in a way where you feel like you are using the right terminology and you're able to maybe even educate in a little bit of ways too, right? So I went to Kentucky really knowing not much. And I did a lot of tours, a lot of tastings. I talked to quite a few people that like run bourbon tours. And the amazing thing about most of them is it's not just, I mean, yes, of course it's a job, but it feels more like something they like live and breathe, right? Like genuinely enjoy what they do. And to just learn about the process and science behind bourbon is so fascinating to me. And then outside of that, you know, it's things like, well, what does it really taste like? Like if I was going to describe it, I mean, going to Kentucky, I was like, bourbon just tastes like burning, you know, like it just burns my chest all the way down. And like, you know, when you go down there, like, well, that's a Kentucky hug, you know? So like nuances that I didn't know because I don't live near the Bourbon Trail. I didn't grow up in Kentucky. You know, it's just so small nuances about being able to go there and, you know, having a supportive partner that was like, okay, if you're going to do it, go. So my best friend and I went for a very long weekend and tried to like, I don't know, absorb as much as I could so that it felt like when I wrote this small town, I was able to pull pieces of it. Like even the way that Fiasco, Kentucky smells, there's a distillery called Four Roses in Kentucky. You've probably seen Four Roses bourbon. It's literally roses on the label. The air there smells like a bakery. It smells so delicious. You know, enough bourbons in, you're basically licking the air, you know, so it smells like exactly how I described Fiasco smelling. So there were definitely parts of that whole experience that are folded into all three of the books.
Yeah, I definitely was like, I could go pick out a bourbon now. I feel like I'm so knowledgeable.
I know, I know. I do not mean for everybody to lean into their bourbon drinking, you know, lifestyle, but
I know, I was like,
if you've
after
never
reading this
tried
book,
it, it's worth a try.
I'm gonna get a cup and be
For
like, this
sure.
smells like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I loved how you incorporated like the different flavors and the whole process. It didn't even feel like world building. It just felt like part of the story. And it was so educated at the same time. I was like, I'm having a great time. I feel like I can run a brewer system now. Like
Well, I'm
I
glad.
can make
I'm
some
glad
bourbon.
that was part of the plan. That was absolutely part of the plan. It was just I left that research trip and this series honestly with such a respect for that industry and the people that participate in it in all platforms. You know, and all of the different communities that touch within it. And it just felt like, you know, in order to do it justice, I had to know at least a little bit more about it than before I went. So yeah,
I would
it
have
was a
had
great
no
experience.
idea.
No clue. No clue.
And I loved the story. I had my jaw drop in book one, and I had to like send them all a voice message. And I'm like, I'm sorry, she's who? Like,
I love
because
it.
I was not expecting it, and everybody else was responding at the same time because we like to read it all together. And I was like, I'm gonna have to talk to her because I was not expecting it, and I'm over here having a great time. And then you pulled the rug underneath me.
Good. I mean, that's the idea. The hope is like that maybe if you went back and really thought about it, maybe there were things that tipped you off, right? But I love when someone's like, I didn't see it coming. I didn't see this twist coming. I think a lot of people felt that in book two, in Bourbon and Secrets, for sure. Um, yeah, I think each story had like a little bit of a different piece that like, you know, maybe you experienced it in a little bit of a different way. But I always like to ask like who your favorites were. You know, that's always my who's your favorite Fox brother, who is your favorite FMC, like because sometimes they're not the same, you know.
Right. So far, I am on book three, and I had a feeling since book one he was going to be my favorite. So I'm like, I'm just
Yeah.
going to write this one down. I'm pretty sure he's going to be my favorite.
Yeah, yeah. Ace tends to be a fan favorite, and I think also too, like I teased Ace and Hadley's story throughout the first two books, so it was like a devious build, you know, like their build up for the payoff that you get in getting to that last book needed to feel like, oh, okay, well that was worth the wait, you know.
That was what we all talked about when we were talking about your book. We were like, oh my God, the banter between them. And it continued. And it continued in book two. The way she would tease him and call him daddy, and he would get so mad. I'm like,
Oh
I need
yeah.
this book so bad.
Oh yeah. There were some things about them that they just flowed for me. Like sometimes there are characters where I've just, you know, decided that this is sort of who they are, and their banter between those two, I wasn't sure. Like when I was starting to write Bourbon and Lies, I wasn't sure who Hadley was going to end up with. By the middle of the book, I knew just based on the banter alone. But I had considered doing a friends to lovers between her and Lincoln. But as I like wrote more of their story, there was just this really great dynamic with Hadley and Ace, and I really loved, because you don't see it so often, I really loved having a male and female best friend that was a platonic relationship. And I wanted to just keep that and see if I could. So I really loved when people were guessing who was going to be Lincoln's, counterpart before I released Bourbon and Secrets. And I was like pleasantly surprised when most people were just thrilled that it wasn't Hadley, and that she was going to end up with Ace in book three.
Yeah, I was praying, crossing my fingers and my toes that those two were gonna end up together. But I
Yeah,
loved how you addressed it in book two, and he was just like, she's like family, she's a sister to us.
for sure. For
So I was like,
sure.
okay, for sure, they're gonna
Yes,
happen.
exactly.
No, I loved their banter, and I loved how each couple was different in their own way, but you like can fall in love with each couple in their own way.
Yeah, I had fun. I had a really good time. I mean, each of those books, I always felt like one was harder than the next one, as I'm writing them, but they were fun to write. It was just like a really fun series, and I really wanted there to be different suspense elements for each one.
Mhm.
I mean, if you picked up book three, you could still read it as a standalone, but it's so much better as a full series. You know, you'll really get the depth of like chaos that Hadley's father reaps on the whole town. So
Mhm.
I think, yeah, I had a good time. Had a good time writing that.
I felt like you were definitely edging us more in book two, especially towards the end. I was like, okay, now she's teasing me, and I need to start it
For sure.
immediately.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I couldn't get enough of this series, and I just loved how they flew together so well, or flow together so well. And I wanted, what inspired you to make a Bourbon brother dynamic?
Um, so I think it was more about how many books that I want to do in a connected series. On my first series, it was four, and by book four, I felt like it was really hard to bring in new readers. Now that's purely my opinion, because there are so many successful authors that have like five, six, seven series in a book, interconnected standalones, and they bring in new readers all the time. I just personally felt, let's see if I can do a three-book series. And I loved the idea of brothers. In my first series, it's three brothers and one sister. And I really just liked the idea of doing three brothers. And then just the fact that it was like, it had this very, I think what I really like about the Bourbon Brothers aspect of things was that you have these preconceived notions of who these men possibly are, and I really liked that they weren't exactly who you thought once you rolled into the story. My next series is a little bit different. My next series is Three Sisters. So, just kind of switching it up a little bit. But no, there was no like huge game plan. I just loved the idea of three brothers and I loved the idea of a bourbon distillery. And I was like, let's lean into it. Let's see what we can do.
Okay. I'm excited. And you said your upcoming series is about three sisters. Can you tell us anything about it?
Yeah, yeah. So it'll be the Whiskey Women series. And it'll be, instead of Kentucky, we're moving a little bit south to Tennessee. So it'll be Tennessee whiskey. Three sisters. So each sister gets her own book. It'll be a three-book series. And again, romantic suspense. If you have read Bourbon and Proof, then you have already met the male main character for book one in the Whiskey Women series. So if you've read Bourbon and Proof, there is a character named Julian. He's also known as the Jeweler, and he's going to be the male main character. He's a jeweler by day and trade, but his sort of alternate ego, I suppose, is he is a cleaner. He's a crime scene cleaner. So he's a lot of fun. It'll be a great story. I just turned it into my editorial team last week, so I'm like riding the high of being done. And that'll release in 2026 in June.
Oh, I'm so excited. And now I
Yeah,
have to ask my most anticipated question. We loved Grizz.
I know.
I I keep coming back to Grizz, and I was like, I honestly feel like he's just getting better and better every book
I
that we go
know.
through.
He was great. I mean, Grizz, in my mind, when I wrote him, I had Sam Elliott, who is,
Okay.
like he looks like how I described Grizz. Like that's who I saw playing that character. Um, and he just has he's just got this swagger. And it didn't matter his age. I mean, he's in his 80s. Like he's been around for a while. And, he needed his own happily ever after. And like I think throughout each story that there's got to be more to his story. So I gave Grizz as much of a happily ever after as I could by the time you're done with Bourbon and Proof. So yeah, Grizz and his book club girls. He's a
Oh my
keeper.
goodness. When I got to that part with him and the book club girls, I was cackling so hard. I was like, this man in his 80s is over here just pulling women left and
I
right.
mean, left and right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wish someone like him existed. Like how much fun would that be? But yeah, he's probably one of my favorite characters. He just was. I think there was just a level of he's like the patriarch of the family. He's got this like knowledge base that just sort of like allows each of his grandsons to figure out their shit by him giving his 2 cents.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
it was yeah, he was a great character to have throughout the whole series.
I love how you mix like he's wise and knowledgeable, but then he would have like these fun one-liners, and then you would find out like
Yeah.
little bits about him. You're like,
You're
Grizz,
like, goodness,
sir.
Grizz. I know. I don't know. I think there's just something really fun about I don't know. I think we do older generations a wild disservice of thinking that they're just old. There's got to be
Right.
there are incredible dynamics of in different types of people. So, yeah, I loved Grizz.
I loved in the second book is I believe he makes a comment about like someone coming into town and how she's like a looker, and I think it was Lincoln was like, stop.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh my gosh, because that line it had me almost in tears. I was like, this man is still going.
I love it. I love it.
And I was like, I was telling book club, I was like, I'm gonna need like a prequel on just Grizz
Oh my
and his
gosh, I
whole
know.
story.
That's probably like I get that question all the time. Like, is he going to get more? Is he going to get his own novella? I mean, it's not in the plans right now. I tried to wrap his story up as best as I could.
I would absolutely love if we got a prequel and it was just like full of his one-liners.
Pull him, right? Yeah, that would be so fun.
Or or if you did a segment and it was like knowledge by Grizz and it would have
Of
like
course. Or like fireside chats with Grizz, right?
yes.
That'd be
I
so
would
fun.
happily like pay for those because he's just
Right?
one of my favorite characters. So when you're asking who's your favorite, I was like, well, there's these, but there's also Grizz.
Totally. Totally. Yeah, he's up there for me too.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one. I think it was Jen and I were obsessed with him because we kept like highlighting his lines back and forth and we
I love
would
that.
send it to each other.
That's awesome.
And I know you're comfortable in your writing with romantic suspense. Is there any other genre that you haven't written in that you would want to write in?
I don't know. I'll definitely stay in contemporary for a while. I don't see myself moving into like romantasy, or anything in that nature. I mean, I read a ton of romantasy and enjoy it. I also love Omegaverse. I love reading Omegaverse. But I don't know. I think I've like found my little niche for right now. Uh, but I think that's kind of the beauty of just being able, if I could just keep writing, that's sort of the best. And who knows where that'll take me, you know? And so I'll never say never, try different things. But for right now, it's definitely the romantic suspense universe that I'll be in for a bit.
Okay. And you said that the Bourbon Boys, this wasn't your debut, so you do have a backlog.
I have a 4 book series. And it's based on it's again a small town, a small mountain town, and it follows 3 brothers and a sister, and they run an outdoor sporting company. And each book has a little bit of the like different tropes that you might love. Like there's a single dad, there's an enemies to lovers, there's a workplace. The second book in the series is called Hide and Peak. There is a connecting character with the Bourbon Boys and a character in that story. And you actually meet some of these characters throughout the Bourbon Boys series. So you'll meet a pilot in Bourbon and Secrets, and he was in my first series. And you'll meet a couple in Bourbon and Proof in a place called Strutt's Peak, and that was my couple in my last book of my last series. So you'll definitely see people interconnected there. And then I have a holiday novella. It's like a cute little practical magic meets the holidays called December Midnights, and it's a little standalone. It's not connected to either series, but I do make mention of a professional baseball player throughout the Bourbon Boys. It's a jersey that Hadley wears, and it's from a pitcher named Gray Turner, and he's the male main character in December Midnights. So all my characters have a little bit of. I try to connect them in some way. But yeah, I have a few books before the Bourbon Boys.
I love when authors do those types of breadcrumbs because if I'm reading a book and then a character from another book pops up, I get super excited. So like, oh, I love them. I remember them.
Totally. I love when that happens too. It's like an Easter egg for sticking around, you know?
Yeah, I love that. And are you planning on having any signings? I know the year is almost over, but next year.
Yeah, I will be in a few places. So actually I'll be at a book festival called In Bloom Books Festival in Kentucky in April. In gosh, when is it? In May, I'll be in Austin for Austin City Fling. And then in July, I'll be in Tennessee for a bit. I'll be in Nashville for like a Christmas in July event called Smutmas and the Smokies. And then the following week is the Book Besties event in Knoxville. And then the last one of the year, I will be at Indies Invade Philly in November. And then I will hopefully be doing a book tour when the first book of my new series comes out. And that'll be in the June timeframe. So I'll be able to hit up a few, bookstores throughout. Where are you based? Where are you
I'm
located?
in Arizona.
You're in Arizona. Um, you'll have to tell me where when we're off of here and stuff and see if there's anything coming close by to you. But yeah, I love going to events. I definitely booked myself too heavily and said yes to too many. I had to actually curtsy out of a couple. Just because I was like, when are you going to write? Like, you have actual writing deadlines. Like, what are you doing?
And I was going to ask that too, because you said you began writing in 2021, and you have quite a bit of books out already. How are you
Yeah.
balancing that?
I just submitted my 9th book, which is like kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm on average about 2 books a year. That's how I've been releasing. The Bourbon Boys is a little bit different because Bourbon Boys was picked up by Bloom in North America and Atria in UK, Australia, New Zealand. And then with that is the first book or the next series, the Whiskey Women series. So I'll have a little bit of like time between books releasing. So for instance, I've just released Bourbon and Proof in June, which isn't just June, like it was a little bit ago now, in June. And the first book in my next series won't be out until, spring of next year. So I'm still releasing at the same, like I'm still putting books out at the same time frame, but because I have like a publisher doing my print publishing, the timing of it is a little more skewed. It's not as quick turnaround as it was when I was like a full-time indie. So I'm still trying to average about 2 books a year, if I can. And it's been tricky. It's been hard. At some point, maybe I'll be able to do a little bit less. But I have author friends that's like a crazy number. That's, and then I have other ones where it's like, they're putting out 5 or 6 a year. So I think everybody writes at a totally different pace. My brain does not work any faster than 2 books a year. Let's put it that way. And it would be so cool if it did. Like I have some colleagues that, can be working on multiple books at a time. And I'm very much like tunnel vision, need to finish one before I can even begin another. So, but yeah, I've been busy.
Yeah, that's impressive because I couldn't even imagine one in a year, let alone two, because I feel like you're cranking them out. So
Well,
that's
if it makes you
impressive.
feel better, when I was writing my first book, I couldn't even believe I was doing that, and then to think, oh, well, not only did you do that, but now you're going to just keep doing it. And that's the thing. I wanted to be a working author. I didn't want to just put out one story. And I think it was just making up my mind that I wanted to do that and to keep writing. And that's the hope. Hopefully I can just keep writing. Hopefully people keep reading so I can keep writing.
Well, we're obsessed, so we will definitely keep reading. And how was it listening to your book as an audiobook?
Oh my gosh, it is the most amazing feeling. It is like the most amazing feeling. The first time I heard it, I absolutely cried, like just them reading the cover page with the title and the names, and I was so emotional. It's a super emotional thing, and I knew that was going to happen. I knew the narrators that I chose are just incredible. They don't just read the words, they are acting the story out, and to just hear that just brought in a whole new layer. I think it's even better on audio, it's a different experience.
Because I like to read it first and then listen, because
Yeah.
sometimes I have like a certain like vision of how I think these
Sure.
sound, and it meshed so well. And then
Oh,
I just
yeah.
loved how it got even better by your casting. So I'm always curious if you have that experience as well when you're finally listening to your words. I mean, because those are your blood, sweat, and tears that you put on the page.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I definitely, so the reason why my audio came out later than the actual print and ebook is because I produced my own audio. So I worked with a production company to do it. I mean, I wasn't actually doing it, but paying for it, and it's not a cheap ordeal. So the success of Bourbon and Lies allowed me to do the audiobook for it. And then continue to do it for the rest of the series. And I really love stories that are recorded in duet. I think, hearing the male main character speak his parts and female main character speak her parts, I think it's more immersive, in my opinion. I think there are some that do an exceptional job at dual where, there's a male and female reading both parts. But I really loved duet. And of course, that's like definitely more costly and takes more time. But it was just really important for me. If I was going to do it at all, I was going to do it in a way that I would want to listen to it. And yeah, Samantha Brentmore, Connor Crace for Bourbon and Lies were incredible. Lee Samuels and Megan Wicks for Bourbon and Secrets, and then Victoria Connolly and Sean Masters for Bourbon and Proof. It was the perfect cast, honestly. It really was. And I just feel like infinitely grateful that they were the narrators that I wanted, and they just absorbed those characters. They sort of became the words, and it was just awesome.
Yeah, the narration, I agree, was absolutely perfect. I thought your casting was spot on because they just took over their character persona and it was so
Yeah.
beautifully done. And we couldn't get enough because I know we were just like sending clips back and forth to each other. Did you guys get to this
Oh, I
chapter? Did
love
you get to this
that.
chapter?
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. You have a fun book club. I
Yes,
love that.
we're a fun bunch and we're always going back and forth because I hadn't reached the scene of the exchanging the bourbon yet.
Yes.
And everybody's like, oh, just wait till you get here, just wait. So I'm like over here and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna speed it up. I'm gonna like enjoy it. But I'm on the edge
Yeah.
of my seat waiting for it. Then it happened and I was like,
I love it. I love
I
it.
was
I
like
mean, yeah.
Victoria.
I mean, it's a bourbon romance, so it had to happen,
Right.
and get creative. So,
Yeah, and then the burlesque aspect was so fun too in book
oh,
two.
I loved that. I don't know. I was when I was talking to my editor about, okay, I want this character to be a burlesque dancer, but also a PI. And it's like, she's like, okay, well, you're the writer, so let's make it work. I just tried to make it work because I needed her to have that, I needed her to have like another job outside of burlesque in order for my romance. I'm sorry, in order for my suspense to work. But I was not willing to give up this vision of a burlesque dancer. I just like had it and needed it. And to me, that's who Faye was. I love her. She's probably one of my absolute favorites.
I loved her show or like her storyline and the shows that she put on were so captivating and you wrote it so well. Like I could just see it happening. And the unwrapping of the bow, I'm just like in my head, I was like, this is a masterpiece. Thank you for this
Yes,
series.
I love it.
I was like, Lincoln, I get it. And I will say one of my favorite lines that I highlighted was the girls buying the cow.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes.
And he's like, where did you get the money? The curse purse.
Curse purse money. I mean, I love any kid characters that just are fun, that like add to the story. And in real life, I have two kids, and there's just a fine line of kids in books being a little annoying or they can like steal the show. And so I like really wanted them to steal the show. And like, what's better than them just like pulling the wool over their dad's eyes and buying a cow? So they were, yeah.
I had a feeling with the whole, would you rather have a dog or a cow? I was ex fully expecting them to hide a dog. I was fully
For
expecting it.
sure.
But the delivery of the cow took me out. I was like, there's no way that
Yep.
these two kids swindled a cow.
A cow. I know, it was great.
And I love how that happened. And I just could imagine Lincoln's face just opening the door, like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah. I mean, and he was like such like, he like has this fine line of being like a structured, you know, businessman, but at the same time he's like such a pushover for his
Yep.
daughters. So
As
yeah,
they
they
kept
knew.
both.
Yeah, they knew that he was going to keep that cow for sure.
Yeah, I was fully expecting like another stuffed animal or something, but when he pulled up, I was like, she did not just like
I love
sit there.
it.
So I'm like now I'm like cautious whenever my kids are asking questions. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my God, could you imagine? I know in real life.
Because I was that kid. I had like snuck in a cat into my room. I had kept her in like my closet and
Stop.
taken
Did
care of her.
you?
I did. So that's why I was like, I fully expect a dog to be stuck in, like
100%.
a hundred
Yeah.
percent. But the cat was top tier. It was absolutely amazing.
I love it. Oh my gosh, you're so screwed. One of your kids is totally doing that.
Exactly. That's why I thought I was like, oh my gosh, deja vu. Because I mean, she's a cat, so it's not like she was really loud. She didn't have to go
Yep.
outside.
Hmm.
I want to say I got away with it for about 6 months.
Stop it. You did not.
I did.
That's impressive. That's actually
Yeah.
impressive.
And because I would always get home before my parents, so like I would let
Mhm.
her roam and I would go clean up her stuff and like throw everything away. And I got allowance every week, so that's how I bought her food and
Oh
litter.
my gosh. So
No one was the wiser.
that's incredible. That's incredible. Like, what a smart
Yep.
kid. I bet you even if your parents knew, they would have been like, you know what? Hats off. Well
My
played.
my dad had found out because she had knocked something over in my room when I was gone, so he like went to open the door, and that's how he found her.
I don't know what I would do if there was an animal in one of my kids' rooms and I didn't know it. Yeah,
And he
that's
was just like,
amazing.
"How long has she?" I was like, "Since December."
Well, you were just doing a good job. You were like taking
Yeah.
care.
I found her outside. It was cold, and I was like, "Oh, come inside. You're mine now."
But like you took care of an animal for 6 months on your own.
I
Like
did,
if nothing else, you should have been applauded.
right? Right? That's what I said. They let me keep her, so it was a win.
Awesome. I love it.
So yeah, I definitely resonated with those girls. It's like, oh no.
That's amazing. I love it.
And I've already started book three, and I was getting in trouble because I usually listen to audiobooks and like I can do stuff around the house. But I kept sitting down because I was like, hold on, like I don't want to miss anything or like get distracted.
Oh, that makes me feel so good. I know. I hear you. I would try to do that. I've been listening to BK Borison's First Time Caller, and it's really fun. It's like if you ever saw Sleepless in Seattle, it's like a little bit of a similar vibe where like the kid calls in to a relationship hotline, and it's great. It's a really well written story. I mean, she's a great author. But yeah, I was doing the same thing. I was like trying to multitask, and my multitasking totally took a detour. I was just listening.
Yeah, like I ended up just sitting on the couch just listening, and then like I looked at the clock. I was like, oh my God, it's been 2 hours. I was like, I need
That's
to do
great.
something. And I was like, I'm
To
gonna
be
talk to her. I
fair,
was like, I don't
though,
blame
Sean
you.
Masters and Victoria Connolly can deliver some seriously amazing lines. So
I was so engulfed, and I was like, I'm just gonna blame her when I talk to her today and be like, it was your fault that dishes didn't get done.
100%. I mean, I'm the scapegoat. Use me every time.
Yes. Yes. I'm so excited to dive into that series. And would you mind if I invited the rest of Book Club up in here? I know that they have some feedback for you as
Yes.
well.
Yes, absolutely. Please do.
We have
Oh, yeah. The
been
Love
so
Light Farm
excited.
series is amazing. Somebody just wrote the Love Light Farms. It's so good. Oh my
We
gosh.
have
I
been
am
so
dead.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm sorry. It was spirit school
I
today, so
love
in
it.
my Nomi jammies and book fair today, so I put in a 14-hour day.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a little tired,
My
but
kids my kids have book fair tomorrow, so
we have it all week, and it's a lot. I
Nice.
will tell you, I've been waiting for everybody to finish this series because I read it a month ago, and when you weren't able to make it the first time, I was like, oh, I can't wait. So I am so obsessed that had I not put in a 14-hour day, I was going to make myself girl dinner. And I went out and I bought the damn cherries.
yes, I
Okay.
love it.
I have the cheese, I have French bread, I have the cherries, but I was too damn tired to cut the bread or the cheese, so I just had McDonald's. But
I love it.
that's how much I love the book, is
Oh
that
my
I went out
gosh.
and
That
my
makes me
husband
so
said,
happy.
can I have those cherries? For his Manhattan. And I said, don't effing touch my cherries. And he's like, what? And I was like, they were $25. She's like, you did what? And I'm like, they're
Yes.
mine.
Yes.
Don't touch.
I mean, they're so worth it. But yes, they are
Yes.
expensive cherries.
And my mom I didn't realize this, but like 2 years ago, maybe not even 2 years ago, my dad's like, they live in Pennsylvania. He's like, you have a Wegmans. They have the good cherries there.
Oh.
I can go get the good cherries. My mom's like, you are not spending that kind of money on those cherries. My dad's like, I'm gonna get the cherries. And so now I will have to hide them from my father because he will now want the cherries as
Absolutely.
well. But that's how obsessed I am. I love the whole series.
Yay.
I love a suspense, but the last book was Sean Masters opened his mouth and I texted Christina. I was like, it's I can't wait for you to get to this.
Oh my gosh.
And I've been
It's
waiting
so
for them to get to it for like the last month. So I love it. I absolutely love it.
Well,
My
thank
husband's
you so much.
family has a brewery, so the background information into the bourbon was really, great for us.
Awesome.
Great for me. I like that part because of our history with brewing itself. So
Yeah,
pretty
I
cool.
love
That was
that.
pretty cool.
I love that. I'm so glad you loved it.
It was great. It was great.
And yeah, Sean Masters as Ace was so good. Like
Yeah, everybody was great, but he was perfect.
yes, totally agree.
I loved it. I love it. And I can't wait for the next one because I really love Julian.
Yay! Julian and that story, I'll be honest. So the name of that book is going to be Rumors and Whiskey. Okay. And it'll come out next year. And it put me through it. But at the end of it, it's a good book. I can't wait. I can't wait for people.
I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I know. I was excited once I heard Sean Masters open his mouth, like Jen said. I was like, "Yep, I'm gonna be cooked. I'm not gonna get anything done today."
Yeah. I listened to it, the book 3, in a full day.
Oh my gosh!
Like awesome. I did not stop. And I will tell you, Christina and I are 2.0 listeners. We listen
at
double
really?
speed. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you psychos.
Yes, of course. However, if it's good, there's 2 reasons I slow it down. I slow it down because it's not right or because it's so good.
I love it.
And I slowed it down because I was like, no. I'm going to savor this and still spend my whole day on it. And it was
1.5.
I'm incredibly honored. Thank you.
Yeah, you went 1.5. That's what I listened to.
Amazing.
Yeah, the book I'm currently listening to was 2.2.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's talent. That's talent. You have to learn, you have to train your brain to do the
It's the ADHD.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I usually do 2.2. So I lowered book 3 to 1.5, and I was like, "Yep, this is
That's
gonna be my
amazing.
baby."
Yeah, 100%. And when she calls him daddy again in book 3, it's a totally different daddy, and I'm here for it.
Totally. Yeah, that story was, it's funny because I always feel like as I'm writing or as I'm editing, like it's the hardest story. And then I go back and I think about the other ones that I wrote. And Ace and Hadley their banter was easy. They just have this chemistry. I don't understand it. And I don't my characters don't talk to me. Like I very much write as if I'm a director and I'm directing the story. Mm-hmm. But those two were it was just fun to write their banter. And I think that just kind of bled through,
It was real. I mean, the banter between characters, the FMCs and the MMCs was there, but the banters between brothers, and then of course Grizz. Just put everything. Grizz banters with everyone.
He does.
Good, bad, and the other. It was I just really, really loved this series, and thank you for writing it. I mean, it was great. I cannot wait for the next one too. Yay. I know Tara is in Nashville, so we
right outside.
Yep. So we've actually talked about, and my brother lives there. So we actually talked about that Christmas event.
Yeah, the Smutmas and the Smokies.
Yep.
Yeah, Smutmas and the Smokies. I already have my ticket. I have a VIP ticket.
Nice.
So yeah, and the good thing is it's right by my house, so I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to pay for a hotel, nothing. The bad thing is it is 3 book signing events 3 weeks in a row
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
because it's I don't remember if Smutmas and the Smokies is Smutmas and the Smokies is first. Villains and Vixens in Orlando is the very next weekend.
Oh,
And then I come back to Nashville and Forbidden Love is the third weekend. So I have 3 signing events
busy.
3 weeks in a row.
I love
I'm
it.
like, it's getting expensive.
Yes. Yes.
But I
Yes.
think I'm actually gonna work the Forbidden Love one. And I think Evie James is gonna be at the Smutmas and the Smokies.
That sounds
And
right.
I'm on her street team and I'm a beta reader for her. So I'm like, why did I buy a ticket? Why didn't I just reach out to Evie and say, hey, I'll work your table?
Yeah.
Why
I
did
bet you
pay?
could resell. I bet you could I bet they'll have a resell or something.
So,
I'll just buy
no,
I'll
I'm
just
gonna
buy
go
your
ahead
ticket
and-
from you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. If she doesn't need me, I think I'm gonna use it because, like, the pajama party on Friday night, I'm super excited about. So it's things like that I'm like, okay, I'll pay the ticket.
So
It's
fun.
whatever.
And I really enjoy Nashville. My favorite thing to do when I'm there though is to go to Nelson's Greenbrier, the distillery there. And they have frozen old fashions. And I just can get they're so good. I don't understand it, but yes.
So there's literally a concert venue like a block and a half from there that I go to at least twice a week and see live concerts.
Oh,
And
really?
so we go over, to Nelson's and we have drinks and then we go to the concert and we rock out and then we go home.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, Wee Woo's coming to Nashville, but she's coming in May for the Tempted by Fiction event, which I'm working that event as well. So, yeah, we have a lot of book signings in Nashville lately.
Yeah,
We've
I
got
love
like 5 next year in the Nashville area.
Was there one last weekend or is it this weekend?
There was an event last weekend. It was a holiday market signing
Oh,
event.
that's what that was.
But I was in Cancun, so
I need events
Warmer
to
there.
come over here in Arizona so I can go to them.
I keep telling you, come on out. Come on out.
I'm over here just crying. Like, you guys want to come to Arizona? We're not as hot as
I
you think.
I want to come to Arizona in February. You already know that.
When
Actually,
it's
I have a
cold.
question, if you don't mind.
Mm.
Uh,
Mhm.
Hi, Victoria. Actually, m- my question first, I'm an audiobook addict. So when I see the first one, like Bourbon and Lies, it was by Conor Gray and Samantha Brentmore, and you also selected like Sean Master for the audiobooks. So I was wondering, when you come up with the story and
Mm.
how do you select the narrator? It's like you have an idea, a previous idea about the narrators. Like you said, this one could be narrated by this narrator. That
Yeah.
I want to see,
Some-
like, how did you
sometimes.
pick them up?
Yeah, sometimes. I think it's like I know like sort of the register of how what their voice sounds like. And I also really love both male and female narrators that have a lower register. I really love that like those deeper tones, and
Yeah.
especially like Faye, for instance. She, in my mind, is 100% Megan Wicks, and that low, like breathy, raspy voice. To me, that was her. And same thing with Sean Masters. Like Sean Masters just has like that little bit of a lower register. So I needed to
Yeah.
find a narrator that had that lower tone. And I think there's so many talented narrators out there. I think it's really impressive, how many have like incredible voices, but I think there are some that are just so good at acting it out, not just reading the lines. And I adore Connor Crace and Samantha Brentmore. In my opinion, they became all of the characters when they read From Bourbon and Lies. I could not have asked for, better better narrators to kick off a series. And that was just having listened to them on other audiobooks and really loving the job they had done.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm actually, since that was my first series on audio, this is now going into my next series. I'm thinking more about how is this going to sound, right? Like when I'm writing these lines, how are they going to sound read aloud? You know, not just being read with your eyes anymore. Like what else can I bring to it?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I love audiobook. I never knew how much an audiobook could just elevate a story until I started doing my own. Yeah, it's incredible.
It's next level, actually. You live
I mean,
inside the book through the audiobook.
I remember when audiobooks were very like monotoned. So
Yeah.
that was like my whole thought process and my look on them until I got into the book world and they're acting and it's a movie
Exactly.
production.
Yeah, it's a production, right? It's like full, multiple characters have different tones, so like Samantha's not just reading, my main female character, she's reading all of the women, and so it's impressive, the work that they do. And I've been lucky with the narrators that have worked on my books, that they just took all of the notes, and it's not like they get like a ton. They get, this is the vibe of the person. This is, the type of twang they may or may not have. And just incredibly done. But I agree with you. It's so much fun to listen to an audio. And even sometimes, like you said, Christina, after you read, right? Like after you've eyeball read it, to go back and listen. It's a really great time.
For
That's
me,
why I like
actually, I
to
read and listen to the audiobook in the same time. It's much better for me.
Yeah.
It helps me to read faster, and for some books, especially fantasy, it helps me to pronounce all the words correctly.
that
actually.
too,
All the
yeah.
names
A good
correctly.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really started audiobooks when my daughter was in gymnastics and my youngest son had sports going on. So I was finding myself in the car an hour going to work and then another hour to an hour and a half. So I was in the car 2.5 hours a day, like taking kids back and forth. So I was just listening to the audio books just nonstop. And then my daughter got her license and I was like, I would still come home and listen. Whereas before I wouldn't do that. I would just be only in the car or only when I was doing paperwork at work. And now I'm like, I gotta, I'm going to keep listening. And the best is like, oh, okay, I have this book to listen to. Whose bedroom is getting cleaned today? Like deep cleaned. I think it's time for me to.
We are not talking about cleaning house while we listen to audiobooks. I've already gotten in trouble twice.
But that's what, like, if I, like, some stories I'll just sit and listen to, but other times I'm like, oh, I gotta, like, especially if there's, like, some suspense, and I'm like,
oh, yeah, you gotta move.
I gotta work that anxiety through the story as I clean.
Sure.
And it always ends up being my son's, I clean underneath that teenager bed.
Yeah, every time I get a new audiobook, my house ends up so clean. Except for this last one though. When I heard like Sean Masters, I just sat down. And like I said, it was like 2 hours past, and I'm just sitting there on the couch like this is a great time.
Oh man, that's awesome.
That's funny.
And are you okay if I ask if we could take a group photo together?
Yeah, let's do it.
In my Christmas jammies.
I mean, that makes it even more awesome.
It's the
Could I
season.
put mine? I have one too.
Oh,
There you go.
I love that. Mine are.
Here we go.
We have a
doesn't
different
have
spirit day every single day, which is just fantastic for teachers and parents.
I'm sure. Yes.
So
You should
it's
have
a
worn my
lot.
Christmas moo-moo, or you should have told me. We could do an ugly sweater.
It literally is $4 Walmart nightgown that I wear with leggings to work.
I mean,
Why not?
why not?
That's the gnome one? I have that one.
It is it. Yeah, it is. I have the
could have
feeling frosty one I wore last week.
I have that one too.
$4 at Walmart. You can't go wrong.
You cannot go wrong.
All right.
You can't
Are you
compete.
ready?
Yeah.
Miss Tara. Ready? 1, 2. Yay!
Thank you, Christina.
Thank
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
Christina.
So just
Thank
so
you
you
so
know,
much.
Four Roses is my favorite.
Is it?
Is it really?
Yeah, it really is. My husband and I drink it a lot. Like Jen said, I live right outside of Nashville, so we do the Four Roses tour. We do the bourbon tour. We do the Four Roses Distillery tour at least once a year.
I love it.
because you get a special bottle when you go through.
Yeah.
But for my husband's 40th birthday, I did where I got for a whole week. I got us a driver, and they drove us all through Kentucky.
Oh,
And so
that's
we
awesome.
did three distilleries a day, and we did the entire Bourbon Trail.
That's amazing.
And so it took a week, but we hit all of the distilleries, all the big ones we hit in a week. And luckily we had a driver, because you cannot imagine the tasting and
yeah.
the drunkenness. that
Yeah, I
happens.
mean, also I was finding like they don't do late pours. They just, it's not, everyone's heavy-handed. So yeah.
Yeah,
Man, you gotta get carried after a tour.
Yeah, I
But
definitely need a
again,
driver.
It was really nice to have a driver, and they actually, so there's there's one tour. They actually set up your hotel rooms. After one day, we stayed at an Airbnb. I mean, they take care of the whole thing.
Oh, I
And
love
so
that.
you show up at the first stop, and then they take over from there and take you on this like little circular route, so you get back to your original stop by day 7.
Love
And
it.
it was worth every penny.
I love it. That's amazing.
It's Wendy.
Hi.
Wendy, baby.
Hi, Wendy love.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry I'm late.
You're good.
All good. All good. I was like, you guys wanted to chat.
So thank you so much for
I'm
coming out and
excited.
chatting with us. We
Yeah,
know that you're
anytime.
super busy, but we were fangirling so hard when you responded, so we were so excited
To be
be able to
yeah,
talk
to
to
be
you.
totally fair, book clubs and groups of people that want to read my books. Are you kidding? I will totally take the time and chat. It's like the reason I can write is that you want to keep reading and talk about it and all the things. So yeah,
We're
no,
very
thank
much
you.
excited.
Yeah, and one
But
of my
we-
favorite things is whiskey, so you know I'm good.
Oh, well, then you're like so ready because we had Bourbon Boys, and then the next series is Whiskey Women. So
Ooh,
I know.
let's go.
Be ready for me when you come to Nashville.
I love it.
Um,
I absolutely will.
I will definitely come accost you while I'm there.
Deal. And you should talk all of the girls to come with you.
I
Honestly.
keep telling them. I keep telling them.
I know we're gonna have to. Wendy, did you want to take a picture? Did you want to turn the camera on?
Hold on.
Like,
Okay, just a second.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
I
We're
was
gonna
just
get
pulling my
Bonnie
hair
one
out with the boss, so save. There we go.
Ooh, there's our darling Wendy.
Hi, dear.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
All right, second picture. Are we ready?
Yes.
1, 2, and there we go. Yay!
Thank you.
good.
Let's see.
And thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, we understand that you're so
Thank you
busy,
so
and
much.
it's the holiday season, so being able to talk with you was amazing. We fell in
You
love with your
are-
series so hard.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, no, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, slide into my DMs anytime. And if not, I'll see at least you, Tara, in Nashville.
Yeah, you will.
We'll definitely have to have you back after the whiskey series comes out.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yes,
devour it.
absolutely. Count me
Yeah.
in.
Wait, when's Nashville again?
July.
Nashville is in July. Yeah.
Okay, I might make that.
Come on, girl.
Unless we're going to the Dominican Republic.
I think we're doing that in May.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so much fun. I love it.
You should have seen us in Vegas.
Oh, I love that even more.
There's a picture of Christina laughing so hard she's on her knees in the middle of the hallway of the hotel.
That's amazing.
There.
I love it.
And we
Oh,
came
yeah.
back all marked up. We have tattoos and everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
Come
gosh.
back a new person.
You guys are
Yeah.
so much fun. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank
Alright.
you so much.
Thank you. I'll talk to you all
Thank
soon.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.